Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we close out today's final segment, and I couldn't think of a better way to close it out than there's a lot of things going on in the Mid-South, but one of my favorites and one of the events that's is so important is the Hunter D. Stafford Memorial Wildlife Supper at Holly Grove Cumberland Presbyterian Church out near Brighton. And it is today, and I'm saying today because this is an event that touches all the bases. It doesn't miss many, and we're really happy to have on as we do every year. If you were at the Hunting and Fishing Extravaganza, I hope you had a chance to go by and visit with Jimmy Stafford and all the family and talk about the event. But we got Jimmy on with us this morning. Good morning, Jimmy.
Good morning.
And, buddy, I know this what year is this now for the –
It'd be the 16th year.
That is unbelievable. I just can't believe it's passed that quickly. Tell our listeners, before we talk about the event itself, how this all formed.
Okay, well, Hunter was 12 years old. He had decided to be a preacher.
This is your son.
And
this is your
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
This is my son, Hunter, yes, sir. And he had decided to be a preacher at the age of 12, and just a few short days after he had made that decision, he got run over by a drunk boater on the Tennessee River. And his mother and I were just sitting around after Hunter had passed and was just praying that we knew we needed to do something, but we just didn't know what to do to keep his memory going and keep his ministry going. And God laid it on us to have a wildlife supper because he loved hunting and fishing and he loved going to church.
Yeah.
And so it all came to us about a month or so after he had passed away, and we decided that we would give it a run, and it has grown from the first year from about 200 or so people to now normally it's around anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200 people a day come through here.
We'll be out there today, and that's the remarkable thing. And he would be 28 now. I mean,
yes, sir.
That's and I know that this is so close to not only your heart but your church's heart. But and this is an event you just go out and eat. Yet they have some great food. This starts what time this morning?
It starts at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, and what will happen during the day?
We'll have different types of skeet shoot, 3D archery shooting, steel target shooting, ham on a string, tomahawk throws, duck calling contest, all kind of events for children and beginners.
And then you lead up to the supper at what time?
At 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock, and then your speaker this year is a pretty special guy too.
Yes, sir. His name is Joseph Marr. He he still is a police officer in Tupelo, Mississippi, but back in 2013, he was called out on a bank robbery in Tupelo, and one of the bank robbers come up behind him and shot him, and it hit him in the left side of his head, and it come out on his left side of his face.
Man.
And one of his fellow officers come around, and the robber was fixing to shoot Joseph again, and his fellow officer shot the bank robber, and then the bank robber fatally shot his partner.
Yes.
And so he's got a strong testimony on what all God has done in his life through that accident.
Well, it's just amazing. Again, we're talking to Jimmy Stafford. The Hunter D. Stafford Memorial Wild Game Supper is today and tonight. And this police officer, this is 2013, right?
Yes, sir.
And he is still a part of the police department, but what a story to tell. And at this time of the year when Sunday the 11th we celebrate, if you want to call it that, but we remember 9/11, and we know how much our law enforcement people mean to us. I think it's more important this day and time, and this young man has a story to tell. Folks, go out there. the signs are posted. You'll think, well, I can't get there from here. But I guarantee you, you just follow them, and you will be amazed at 1,200 people at this event. And I don't know what Brighton's population is, but in Holly Grove, Cumberland Presbyterian Church, how many members they have, but you and your wife is Emma, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, and this is just a wonderful event. So tell them how to get there.
Okay, the best way, if you can get to 51 Highway.
Yeah,
and,
straight up.
Right outside of Fraser there, and come straight up 51 to Millington, Mumford, and Atoka, and the next will be Brighton. And we'll have signs all there on 51 Highway to show you how to get right to the church.
And this, tell them the cost.
The cost is nothing.
Can you get that, folks? The cost is nothing.
And, Larry, that's one of your favorite deals.
I know it is.
But this is a great event.
I've spoken at it twice, I think, and
yes, sir.
It's just a wonderful event. And, folks, so don't forget it. I know there's a lot of things going on, the big catfish thing, all the things going on, football games going on, football games going on, all this kind of stuff. But go to the 100 East Stafford Memorial Wild Game Supper, and they're going to have some prizes, I guess, too, right?
Oh, yes, sir. It'll be all kind of door prizes and guns and different things that we're giving away that day.
It's amazing. Jimmy, thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. And I hope everything goes well, and I know it will today, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. See you later. All right. Jimmy Stafford. Another big event going on coming up this weekend is also the Greers Ferry Lake and Little Red River Tourism Association cleanup over there at Heber Springs.
That's really a
47 years.
Yeah, that's an annual.
That's an annual event
deal,
too.
And that's such a pretty lake, and it's always good to go and help out.
Yeah, if you go and help out, you get some free camping for this weekend if you're a volunteer, and if you want to volunteer, one of our places is Lindsay's Resort. You can go right there and help those people. They got all sorts of stuff going on. Take that drive.
Check out that new place they've got.
Yeah.
It's really awesome.
It's awesome. Let me tell you about next week's show before me and Ron close it out. How can I tell it without saying who's going to be on? Because we have the person on next week's show.
I know.
We have the one and only Kim Brody.
Yeah.
6-time Olympian. And we're going to talk to Kim.
I can't wait to listen to her because she'll have some great things to say.
Well, she's going to tell about why there was a snub of all the shooting events.
I can't wait to hear that.
And she's been a spokesman, and she lives in California, and they've got some crazy rules out there, Ron.
Absolutely.
About firearms that she's going to talk about. She might not even be able to take her firearms across the state line to go to compete in things, but the one and only Kim Brody will be on next week's show. We're going to talk a little bit, and Ron likes this, Navionics.
Paul
is good.
Paul is really good about that, and Navionics has come out with some great new stuff and things that everybody can use on their smartphone.
They sure can, and Paul is going to be on, Paul Michelle, he will be on next week. And Heath Wood, one of our favorite guys from Hunter Specialties, getting ready for fall hunting. And we're going to try to hook up with a man who knows a lot about archery, and that is Cade Hawkins. He's DeSoto Outdoor Archery, DOA. I like that. And I got to talk to Cade at the Hunting and Fishing Extravaganza. I'm going to try to get him on, and we'll have a couple of surprise guests on next week's also. And don't forget, again, today, there's so much going on. It started yesterday with a lot of seminars and things like that at the Bass Pro Shops at the Pyramid. But head on down there at 4 o'clock this afternoon for the weigh-ins on those big fish. Big fish.
Awesome.
And then
you'll have a great time.
And then, of course, this morning, I know a lot of you are probably out, already gone. The wood duck teal season started in Tennessee today, the 10th through the 14th. The Canada goose early season has already started, goes through the 15th. The teal-only season is the 15th through the 18th, so a lot of things going on. Squirrel season's going on. Dove season's going on. And as Ron says, get out there and get off the water.
The fish are biting. And,
Tell our listeners they are biting, right?
Yep. And while you're on the water, remember to practice good water safety.
You always stress that, don't you?
I absolutely do.
And we want to throw out a prayer. I got a call this week from our good friend Peanut Kwan telling me that our good friend Carl Graham's wife has experienced some really serious health issues.
Very serious.
Yes, and we want to send out our prayers to Carl and all the Graham family, Carla and all of them out there in Corinth, Mississippi, where he lives now, and just make sure everything goes right in the family right there. So, Ron, I thank you for being here. I know it's football time.
As a matter of fact, today I am hanging up my fishing rods.
You are? And
I am heading south.
You're heading south, and I don't even know who Ole Miss plays this week.
They're going to be able to play some second and third stringers and get some guys.
Watford this week?
Wofford.
Wofford. Isn't that a dog?
Yeah.
No, that's another. That's woof woof. No, that's a Wofford Terriers.
Yes,
I think
that's
they
right.
may be the Terriers.
That's right.
I think it is. But anyway, lots of stuff going on. Greg Ratliff, thank you for taking care of us. Be back next week, and Frank Barton will be in the studio, and Frank's going to talk about. They keep expanding out there at the Barton Power Sports.
Hey, I love going out there because it's so much fun to see.
Forest City now, Mount Moriah now. And he'll talk about slingshots and the new. You need to get your ATVs ready. We're going to talk to Frank about that for the season. Don't wait till the very end to all of a sudden say, "I think I'll go fix my ATV." No, don't do that.
Now.
Ron, I guarantee, has got his fishing stuff organized. My son's been at his house. I know it's organized.
Yeah,
okay,
right.
yeah. All right. This is Larry Ray reminding us I do each and every week to. Doesn't cost an extra cent to be a good sport, and God bless the USA.
You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry.